So now I'm going to invite up the band for our opening song of Home Base. So please welcome up the band.
There's a battle raging on the ground inside of me. I'm fighting my anxiety, and it gets so heavy, 'cause it feels like I can't reach the person I'm supposed to be. I need to let go. I need you to remind my soul that you don't see me the way I see me. I need to let go. I need you to remind my soul that there's no pressure to be someone other than who you love. I can let my stress fall to the floor. There's no pressure to earn your grace. You give it all away. I don't have to be perfect. You tell me I'm worth it. There's no pressure. And there's a weight that's lifted when I get down on my knees. It's like my lungs can finally breathe. I need to let go. I need you to remind my soul that there's no pressure to be someone other than who you love. I can let my stress fall to the floor. There's no pressure to earn your grace. You give it all away. I don't have to be perfect. You tell me I'm worth it. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. Oh, there's no pressure. I don't have to be perfect. There's no pressure. I don't have to earn it. No, you already tell me I'm yours. I'm yours. I don't have to earn it. No, you already tell me I'm yours. There's no pressure to be someone other than who you love. I can let my stress fall to the floor. There's no pressure to earn your grace. You give it all away. I don't have to be perfect. You tell me I'm worth it. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. No, there's no pressure. I don't have to be perfect. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. No, there's no pressure. I don't have to be perfect. There's more pressure. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, band. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to Home Base. This is our second happening. Why don't we just look around and see how many people showed up? Let's give a round of applause, am I right? All right, for our next session, we're going to be doing announcements, and I'm going to be inviting Eva Schneider. Where is she? Oh, there you go.
It's great to see you all. How was your month? We haven't seen each other since the beginning of September. Koji, can you get the slides to work? I could not figure it out. Since I guess Home Base is every month, I wanted to have a good set of announcements that kind of tells you guys what's happening over the course of the entire October. So there's a lot going on. First of all, this is weekly stuff. So every week here at the church, we've got board game night on Tuesdays, run by a bunch of our NJ brothers. And then we also have a next-gen praise and worship kind of Chuncheon prayer vigil on Saturdays. The board game nights from 7 to 9, usually in here. And then praise and worship is in the Chuncheon. And yeah, from 8 to 9:30. So if you guys ever want to come to any of those things, it's a lot of fun. It's really good, just like bonding time. It's every week. So just whenever you have time, pull up. We'd love to see you. Next up, this is already coming up this weekend. But there is a level 2 workshop that's coming up in East Garden. It's going to be super fancy. They said there's all new content. Reverend Dunkley is going to speak. Pastor Naukimi is going to speak. Hi, Pastor Naukimi. We also have the BFM director and Mari Curry and like so many different really cool and amazing speakers. There's also going to be Mr. Curtis Farrow, who is going to lead music. And so, yeah, there's just going to be a lot going on. So if you guys haven't signed up yet and want to go, there's a link. There's a QR code. It's really great. It's also up on a lot of social media for the church if you can find that. Next thing, this Saturday, if you don't have time to go to the Blessing Workshop, you can have time to come here, and we're going to have a Peacemakers seminar. So Pastor Naukimi's been going through different seminars about Peace Starts With Me, about different ways of finding peace in your life, and then this is the third one. It's about peacemakers. It talks about different peacemakers in the world, and it talks about true parents and how they've been peacemakers. And so if you guys want to come, this is this Saturday. It's from 12 to 4. And it's kind of like a little mini workshop thing. And then Peace Starts With Me musical masterclass. So A. Curtis Farrow is coming back. He's coming here, and he's going to teach everyone how to sing. So if you want to come, it's really, really fun. You get to kind of learn all the songs that we sang as a choir, and then you are basically eligible, if you want to go to Korea and sing in the 1,000-voice choir that we're going to have there at the Chunwongung opening ceremony. So this masterclass is going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday from the 18th, the weekend of the 18th, 19th. There's 3 days in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I don't know what the missing date is. But yeah, if you guys want to come, for me it was such an incredible experience. If you were here last month, I talked about it. And I hope that if you're interested, you guys can all join in that experience, learn to sing those songs, be part of the Holy Spirit in the crowd, and learn from A. Curtis Farrow, because he's awesome. And then, last but not least, the 25th of October, here we're going to have a dinner party little thing, not particularly little, but just like a nice dinner, time to spend time together, time to do some spooky activities. And there's also going to be the big Belvedere party the next day. So we don't have a flyer for that, but this is on the Friday night. It's going to be here. And then on Saturday, there's the big event that they usually have every single year in Belvedere, where we're going to have the big, like, the haunted house and the all sorts of booths and events and tables, and they've been working really hard to set that up too. So if you guys want to come, that's the last weekend, I think, of October. Yeah. And so that's kind of the layout of the month. Blessing Workshop, Peace Starts With Me, we got Music Masterclass, we got Halloween. There's so much stuff going on. So I hope you guys kind of keep that in mind, and thank you very much. Pass it back to Jesmar.
Thank you, Eva. Okay, so moving on to our next session. You guys saw the flyers. You guys know who's talking. It's our beloved brother, Chan Woo. Let's give it a round of applause.
All right. This one? All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Home Base. So yeah, I don't know if you saw the flyer or the message, but today I'm going to talk about what can you hold on to, and let's see, is it? Yeah. And you have to excuse me a bit because I'm actually I thought I wouldn't be that nervous, but everyone's really close to me, and I actually spoke at church like a month ago, I think, and it feels like there are more people here. So I'm a little nervous. But yeah, this question, you might ask me like, what do I mean by what can you hold on to? I'm really asking a bunch of other questions as well. So I'm really asking, why is our church valuable to you? What values do we have that make us different? What do we have that is unique? And what do you like about the church? So maybe some of these are hard questions, some of these are not, but what I want to do now is you might notice there's some paper on your table, and obviously there's pens, so just take a few minutes and to yourself, just write down what you think is the answer to these questions. And yeah, one thing I want to stress is that I don't want you to write down what you think is the right answer, or like what you think should be the answer, or what people would tell you the answer is, but like what you yourself think the answer is to these questions. So yeah, it'll take a few minutes.
To me saying who do. We were born for greater things. We were born to chase your dreams. Come, my Lord, awaken holy fire. We are turning from our sin. We are praying once again. Come, my Lord, awaken holy fire. We are aching for the real thing. Hearts are open wide. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Yeah! Send revival start in us. Set your holy spark in us. Send us out in resurrection power. History's about to change. We are rising once again. Send us out in resurrection power. We are aching for the real thing. Hearts are open wide. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. Burn like a star, light a fire in our hearts. For your glory, for your fame. In this darkness, light a flame in us.
Okay, all right. Thanks everyone for writing some things down. So I just wanted to ask if anyone has something they want to share, or like want to volunteer to like say one thing they wrote down or something they like. Addison. Lineage. Okay. Cool. Cool. Anyone else want to share? Yasu. Nice. Yeah, thank you. And maybe one more, if possible. Oh yeah, sure. Moonsung. Oh, the people you mingle with? All right. Sorry, what did you say? Oh, yeah, people you met. Yeah, same for me. So, where's the clicker? So yeah, I think the reason why I wanted to start with this activity is so that we can really focus on the things that we like about the church and what make us feel good. Because I think a lot of times, what can be a deciding factor or what makes it difficult is the things we don't like, and we kind of hold on to those things too much. But I think instead, it's good to hold on to the good things or things we can resonate with. And yeah, I guess going into this topic as well, at least for me, growing up in the church, I feel like sometimes it can be attached to a feeling of embarrassment or like awkwardness. And not everyone feels this way necessarily, but I was scared. Like it just felt like at the lunch table in middle school or high school, like it always somehow got to like religion. I don't know why everyone talked about religion so much. It didn't seem like a good topic to talk about, but like everyone just always seemed to bring it up. And people would ask me like, hey Chanu, like what religion are you? And I would be like, oh, I'm Christian. But like it never ends there. They always keep asking things. And it's hard because like, I go to church every weekend, I go to workshops during the summer, like they'll see pictures of me on Facebook of like going to workshops. They're like, what's this? And I'm like, I don't know what that was. And yeah, and I feel like, yeah, one funny thing as well, like they would even ask me like, how come you don't date? I'm like, oh, I'm just not interested in dating. And after a while, like they didn't believe me. So they're like, are you gay? Like you can just tell us if you're gay. And I'm like, no, I'm not gay. I just don't want to date. So yeah, I feel like I had to be cryptic, even though there were aspects of the church that I was proud of or I was happy about. I had to be so like, I guess like cryptic about it. And I think, yeah, again, like for that reason, it's important to think about what we do like and reflect on that point. Why are we here? And what's something I can actually be prideful about the church? And yeah, I think becoming an adult, a lot of us are young adults, and getting to this age, we really have to take ownership of that decision. When people ask me, what church am I part of, or like what do you believe in? You can't hide as much as you did in middle school and high school. Like when my coworkers ask me what religion am I, like I have to say like one thing or the other. I can't just like lie or like beat around the bush. So yeah, I think that's why being a young adult can be a big turning point for people. And yeah, it's important to have this sort of pride or get this sort of solid feeling in the church by that time. So what makes it so hard? There are a lot of reasons, like I just mentioned, but I think the foremost one to me, that talking to a lot of people that I know who are like kind of like I used to see them at church all the time. They don't come anymore, and I asked them like, why don't you come to church? And maybe one that I hear the most is like sometimes there's this image of like what a church member should be, or like what the ideal church member should be, and many people feel like they can't fit that image, whether it may be like you're like very mission oriented or like you always want to be contributing to mission, or maybe like you're always praying, or I don't know what it could be. It could be a lot of things. But I think sometimes we have this like stigma around you have to have a certain faith style, you have to be very outgoing, or all these things. And I thought these things at some point too. And even for me, like I've talked to people and they say like, oh, like Chanu, like you're so churchy, like I could never be like you. And I'm like, I don't even know what being churchy means, because like I thought other people were churchy, but now like I'm being considered churchy, and I just think like, what does it mean to be churchy? Like I go to church. Does that mean I'm churchy? And I think it does kind of like give a perspective on things, because I think relatively speaking, anything can be seen as like so churchy or not churchy depending on where you are in your life and where you are with your faith. So I think it's important to keep in mind like, whenever I talk to people who are like not so much in the church, like even saying like I believe in God is like, whoa, like that's a little too much for me, But yeah, I think the point I'm making is like we all start from somewhere, and it's important to recognize that the things you don't like or the things that make you uncomfortable shouldn't keep you from going to church. Because like for me, like one thing that I struggle with the church a lot, sorry, Pastor Naokimi, is that like it's hard for me to witness. Like it's very difficult. Like it's difficult for me to like not only own like my faith, but like own it enough that I like tell someone like this is what I want you to do with your life too. And of course, there's all the social things on top of that, which is like that's a given. I can't even do some social things for like without the church stuff in there. But yeah, I think just because I don't like witnessing doesn't mean I can't come to church, or I can't resonate with the community, or I can't learn and gain things from our teachings and our values. So yeah, I just think this image of perfection, or like that's not me, or like I can't be like that, they shouldn't get in the way. Things like that shouldn't keep us from, still enjoying each other's company and coming together towards a common goal. So sorry, I'm asking like a bunch of questions, but this question, the last one, like how can I make my faith my own? That's really the question that I'm trying to get at, and I think it's important because when you make your faith your own, I'm also asking previous questions like, what can you hold on to? Like, what are the things about the church that you really like that, no matter what happens, I'm going to like stand by this. Like, this is what I believe in, and this is what I actually appreciate about coming to church. And once you make it your own, like, no one can take it away from you. You can be truly proud of it, and it's not dependent on what happens or like external things or like what happens in the movement or whatever. It just, it's dependent on you. And honestly speaking, like for me, I'm very close to my parents. I love my parents, and they're like a big reason for like why I'm in the church. But if tomorrow I were to wake up and they were like, "All right, Chanu, like we love you, but we're just not going to be part of the church anymore. Like you can keep going to church, but it's just not our thing. We just don't believe in it." Like I feel like I've gotten to a point in my faith where even if they were to say that to me, I would still be confident in like I still want to believe that I would live by the principles and like values that I had in church. Even if my parents tell me, I don't believe in it, I don't think you should believe in it, like it's become such of a part of me that wouldn't change what I do. And I think that's a really powerful thing once you achieve it. And it's something that we can all achieve if we think about what we resonate with truly. And for everyone, it's different. Maybe it means like no matter what, you're always going to live for the sake of others. You like resonate with that. You're like, I'm always going to live for the sake of others no matter what. Or maybe it means you're always going to pray every day to God. It can mean anything, but I think it's important to stress that not everyone is the same. We weren't created as like robots to like all have the same opinion or have the same style. So everyone should really try to reflect and like dig deep to find like what is that thing for you. And yeah, like bottom line is, I don't want to tell you what to believe. I think a lot of people try to do that and it doesn't work. But I think for the rest of this talk, what I want to do is just share with you like what I like about the church, what I hold on to when it comes to the church. And through that, maybe you'll agree with some, maybe you won't agree. But I think the bottom line is I want you to like start thinking about, what do I like about the church? What do I appreciate? And like, what can I really hold on to? So I'll get into it now. So yeah, I kind of mentioned it a bunch of times, but one thing that I really like about the church is this idea of living for the sake of others. And this was always something that was so clear to me, but that like the idea of selfishness is like evil, and like being selfish is evil, and being selfless is good. And of course, like religions say this, and people say this every day, like, oh, it's good to like help your fellow man and like just be a good person. But it's one thing to like just kind of say it in the background, but I think our church really like embodies it, and we really say like that's like the most important thing: live for the sake of others. Don't think about yourself. And like there are times where like I was at a workshop growing up, and like maybe I spill something, and like people start cleaning it up for me before I even like can react to like me cleaning it up, and it's just like so like crazy to me. And actually, I just thought of this, but this past weekend I went rafting with a few other couples in the community, and like I dropped my phone like in the water, and like I didn't even drop it. I just like fell in my pocket, and like as it's happening, I just like I'm like, oh shoot, like my phone's in the water. And I just watch it like float down. I didn't even react or anything. And then like someone else yelled at like Grace. She was there. She's like, "Hey, phone!" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my phone. Like it's gone." And the reason I didn't jump in is because like I can't swim. So I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gone for good. Like I'm never gonna get that." But Grace and one of their sister Elizabeth, like they just jumped in. They're like, "Oh no, that's a phone. Like you got to get that." So like they like took their like life jacket off and like jumped in and went for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they were crazy. Like I thought that phone was long gone, but they got it back. And I was like so grateful. And I think that shows like how like committed people are to this idea of living for the sake of others. Like it's not even their phone. Like even my phone, I was just watching it go away. I'm like, oh, that's gone. But they're willing to like see it as their own, like, really serve that person. And yeah, one quote that I just wanted to share is a quote from True Father, our founder. He says, what is my criteria for choosing leaders in the Unification Church? the one quality I most dislike in a person is the habit of being selfishly motivated. I will give the most responsibility to those who are unselfish. It is as simple as that. So I thought that was so interesting because I've never heard of someone say like, oh, the best leader is the one who's just not selfish. I always thought like you got to choose the most qualified one, the one who has most experience, or maybe is the oldest person. But I also kind of agree with the concept of, oh, just whoever's selfish, whoever's going to serve their members and really live for the sake of their members, I feel like that's the best leader. And I was so impressed by that, and I feel like our church really tries to drill that home. So that's one thing that I really like, this idea of living for the sake of others. The next one, it's a little more like philosophical one, I guess, but it's that God is in pain, and he gave us free will. So this also made sense to me because I always had friends like tell me like, oh, God is like, the all-powerful God. He just like looks over his creation. He's like happy with it. He's like, yeah, this is good. And he like strikes down people who like do bad things. And obviously I'm simplifying like people's interpretation of God, but one thing that our church says that no one else says is that God is actually in pain. Like he's suffering with us. He's down here suffering with us. And I think that just made sense to me. Like I look around, I walk around New York City, I see homeless people, like I don't feel good. And it made sense to me that God also does not feel good about that. He's also not happy about that. And then free will, this concept of free will, like totally answers the question, like, why, people always ask, why doesn't God just fix the world if he's all powerful, he's all knowing, why doesn't he just fix everything? And I always thought that too, like, why doesn't he do that? Because we believe the same thing. But we actually understand that, God has these principles that he's created, he has to follow his own principles, and he allows humans to have their own free will. And so yeah, I just think our church teaches us about God's nature in a way that like we've never understood before. And I don't know, it's a little more like, I guess that's why people call me churchy, like I believe that. But yeah, I just thought I always resonated with it, and that's one thing that'll hold close to me, that God has this nature. And the last one is family being the starting point for an ideal world. We always talk about, like one family under God, and we're all supposed to be brothers and sisters. We even call each other that at like workshops and stuff. And this also made sense to me because I always thought like leaders, like outside the church, like they always start too big. They're like, we're gonna make, the whole world like united under one, and we're gonna make the country great, we're gonna make the economy great, like we're gonna solve world hunger, all these things. But I feel like these are such like big, deep issues. Like there's no way like one person at the top is gonna make it happen, right? But I always thought like I can at least start with myself. Like I can at least make sure, okay, am I trying to like serve others around me? Am I trying to love other people? Am I just trying to pull my own weight? And start from there. And I feel like that's how we solve issues like, big issues like racism or like greed or like world hunger. Like those start from like ourselves, and then at least if I can get started with myself, then I can maybe expand to my family. I can do those two things. And yeah, I always just thought like this idea of one family under God and thinking of family as a starting point for like a peaceful world, it just made sense. And yeah, I feel bad that I don't have much more to explain about it, but I think that's kind of the point that I'm trying to come across is like this might, like answering this question for you, like what can you hold on to? Everyone's gonna have a different question. Maybe you explain your thing that you love about the church, and maybe it won't make as much sense to someone else, but it's still your thing, and that can be what you hold on to. So yeah, I have a couple reflection questions. What are some things about the church that you can hold on to? And are there perhaps some things you don't like that you can let go? So I want to like everyone maybe pair up at their table, or maybe as a whole table, just discuss these questions, and yeah, go from there.
Light a fire. Ian in color. I was dead, now I'm living forever. I had failed, but you were my redeemer. I've been blessed beyond all measure. I was lost, now I'm found by the Father. I've been changed from a ruin to treasure. I've been given a hope and a future. I've been blessed beyond all measure. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing. Surely every season you are good to me. Oh, you are good to me. Oh, you are good to me. You were there in the valley of shadows. You were there in the depth of my sorrows. You're my strength, my hope for tomorrow. I've been blessed beyond all measure. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing. Surely every season you are good to me. Oh, you are good to me. Oh, you are good to me. Surely your goodness pursues me. Surely your heart is still for me. I will remember your mercies all my days, through every storm and gale. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing. Surely every season you are good to me. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing. Surely every season you are good to me. Oh, 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 you are good to me. For your goodness, I will ever praise you. Oh, you are good to me. Oh, you are good to me. Sing it out now. Oh, you are good to me. In the hurt.
One more minute, one more minute.
Oh, you are good to me. I'll sing it loud. Oh, you are good to me, even in the dark. Oh, you are good to me. Lift your voices. Oh, you are good to me all the time. Oh, you are good to me. I've been running in circles, jumping the hurdles, getting caught in that rush of doing so much. I'm feeling kind of worn out. All this checking the boxes, trying to be flawless, has me spinning my head, catching my breath, too afraid to slow down. I tell myself to keep this up, that God wants much more than just my love. But I've been complicating things. It's just like me to overthink. Gotta keep it real simple, keep it real simple. Bring everything right back to ground zero. Cause it all comes down to this: love God and love people.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for participating in our discussions. Thank you for being so willing to speak your mind. I'm glad you guys are all getting along. This must have been a great topic to talk about. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I know you guys love each other. All right. Round of applause for having such great discussions. All right. Thank you, Chanwoo, for that great message. We're going to go on to our next session. I'm actually going to invite the home base band to come on up and start leading worship. All I ask for the people attending is to start moving the tables and chairs to the back so that we can make space in the front here. All right? Let's do mosh pit. Yeah, mosh pit style. I'll give you guys 1 minute. Yeah, preferably, we would like you guys to stack the chairs 10 high. It's 10 high. Maybe I should get you guys to do manual labor. Maybe just like a little bit. That's nice. Just make enough space for everybody here. It's like 60 people. These chairs. Why don't I invite you to the front? Come on over here. Reina, come on. Eva, let's go. Let's go to the front. Let's go to the front. Come on, guys. You guys want to join me in the front? Come on. Join me in the front. Let's go.
There's no pressure.
Everybody. I'm asking everybody to
Just
go to the
saying.
front.
There's no
We're going to the front.
pressure.
Guys, Chanwoo didn't want you guys to come close, but we do.
All right.
Getting close.
Getting close. All right. Let's give another round of applause to the band. Take it away.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Hey, you know the trouble that might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. No, you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Ooh, there's trouble that might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Ooh, oh, Thank you. I will fight. I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay. I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side like lovers do. And I'll reach my hands out in the dark and wait for yours to interlock. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on me. And I'll hold on to you. No matter what this world will throw, won't shake me loose. And I'll reach my hands out in the dark and wait for yours to interlock. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on. I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue.
You might know the song, you might not know the song, that's okay, just enjoy. Okay.
Feeling like I'm breathing my last breath. like I'm walking my last steps. Look at all of these tears I've wept. Look at all the promises that I've kept. I put my all into your hands. Here's my soul to keep. I'll let you in with all that I am. You're not hard to reach. When you bless me with the best gift that I've ever known, you give me purpose. Yeah, you've given me purpose. Thinking my journey's come to an end. Singing out a farewell to my friends. For bitter peace, ask you to forgive me for my sins. Oh, won't you please? I'm more than grateful for the time we spent. My spirit's at ease. I put my all into your hands. And the lessons you teach, no matter when, wherever I am, you're not hard to reach. And you've given me the best gift that I've ever known. You give me purpose. Every day you give me purpose in every way. Oh, you are my everything. Oh, you are my everything.
Heavenly Parent, we just want to stand before you, and we're so grateful that we can be here, God. And we're so grateful that you give us purpose. For any reason for faith in our life, we know that there's purpose, there's direction. Maybe we don't know how, we don't know when. And there's some things we don't like, but there's some things that we also love about you, God, and this movement and this church, about the family you've given to us. So God, I just pray we can hold on to that and really desperately seek you, because there's a purpose. There's always a purpose. So thank you, God, for giving us this purpose. We love you. Please join us tonight. Thank you. Adieu.
I give my all into your hands. With the lessons you teach, no matter when, wherever I am, you're not hard to reach. And you've given me the best gift that I've ever known. You give me purpose. Every day you give me purpose in every way. Oh, you are my everything. Oh, you are my everything. And you've given me the best gift that I've ever known. You give me purpose. Every day you give me purpose.